But yeah, with no further ado, it's time to get into the headliner. What you came to see:
It's vengeance.
Matt Reeves, Vengeance, Batman.
Oh shit!
The
Here we go.
Batman. It's time to get into it, brother. We just saw this thing just under a week ago from the time we recorded this.
Yep.
And I got to say, I got some feelings about it. You got some feelings about it. But what are your general thoughts going into this? And full warning, spoiler alert, we're going to spoil every little detail of this movie.
What?
If you haven't seen
Every
it,
little detail.
now, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
But
get you. I'm just
no
kidding.
one's safe. If you haven't seen it, get the hell on out of here. Go watch the 3-hour flick. Come right back here and click play. And then make sure you get into this discussion with us. But you've been warned. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
I'm telling you, when the Grand Wizard comes and he resurrects
God.
Thomas Wayne and
Oh,
Martha, whatever, yeah, Martha Wayne, and like they're super villains. I'm just kidding with you guys.
Oh my gosh.
There's nothing like that.
This guy. But overall, general thoughts on the Batman. Just your initial reaction compared to your second viewing.
Okay.
How do you feel about the movie?
It was pretty
overall?
sick, dude. I
You warmed up to it a little bit?
As I grow older, I just feel like I'm not a big Batman fan. I'm not a
feel
big
you.
one. Like
I feel
I
you.
don't get me wrong, he's super cool, but like he to me is in my like A tier of superheroes. He ain't no Spider-Man, you know. Even I like even freaking like Blue Beetle more than like Batman for some
Whoa,
reason. Yeah, for some
what?
reason I like him more, you know. I
Damn.
like
Now that's
I like
controversial.
Nightwing more than Batman. Like my thing is about Batman flicks.
That's less shocking.
There's a lot of Batman flicks out there. A lot. Okay.
especially animated.
Okay, that's another topic. Just like in real life action, there's more than like probably 10.
We're getting there. Let me see
Okay,
here.
my bad. But
Adam West, pre-Nolan.
Yeah.
That's 5. Nolan's 8. BVS you can include.
yeah,
So we're at 10. You just you're
Okay,
right.
cool, see?
So technically 10.
you included George Clooney's too.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
you got Adam West, both Keaton, Tim Burton's,
Yeah.
Kilmer,
Okay,
Batman versus
got you. Okay, for
Batman
sure.
versus Robin, and Robin. Blah,
See,
blah, blah, blah.
there's so much Batman stuff out there. I'm kind of tired of Batman. I want to see more like Nightwing. I want to see a Robin movie. I want to see a freaking Batwoman movie. That's what I want to see.
Hey man, we're
that-
getting back, girl.
Especially Nightwing. Growing
Yeah,
up,
we were talking
Nightwing
about this,
has
dude.
been
Me too.
an awesome character. Or they should have made like a Batman and Nightwing movie together, like a good cop, bad cop. You're right. You're right. We can
Yeah,
talk about
like a
this, but
buddy
I
cop
want my opinion
energy.
to be loud and clear to the viewers out there.
Yeah, man.
Like Batman's cool, but especially in this movie, I'm just tired of too much black. I want to see more like some blue, some red. That would be sick, you know?
Yeah, this is not a colorful movie by any
Heck
means.
no, dude.
This is Gotham right out of the comic books. but
Literally, yeah.
The bleakest like version you could possibly imagine, man.
Like at some point, I'm gonna pull out a freaking flashlight. I'm like, whoa, man, I can't see.
And he ain't investigating.
Like, goddamn, man.
Yeah, man. But Robert Pattinson, bro. What's your feelings about him, man?
It
Just
was-
the overall like story and
Okay.
the actors playing the characters.
He
Like,
played a great Batman, but my thing with the Bruce Wayne,
yes, sir.
like he was too like. From what I've seen in other past Batman movies, he played such a different persona to Batman, and in this movie, he acted just like Batman, even out of the mask. He was always sad. He was always like having like a low voice like this, you know. And I'm just like, okay, I guess
See?
they're trying to go in a different way. He was never like a playboy guy that I'm always used to. Okay, in the very first Batman flick for like the Christopher Nolan's, this guy's driving a Ferrari, pulling out checks, hanging out with chicks, and I'm like, oh,
That's
sick.
true.
You would never guess that's Batman because Batman's like, oh yeah, I'm like a super dark guy. I love justice. Cool. You wouldn't even get that from Bruce
Vengeance.
Wayne. But right here is like, if you're like
Bruce, what are
if
you
you're
on
some
for
kind of like
breakfast?
freako and like
Vengeance.
you're literally looking at both of them, they're like, these guys have similarities. The whole time Bruce Wayne had his hair in his eyes, like I'm like, all right, bro, what are you in 8th grade? Come on, man.
He's going to go to the Black Parade
Yeah,
show
man. This
after-
guy's
after school.
you could definitely catch him at emo night every Thursday night. All right. And I don't want it to my opinion to take away from the movie because the movie honestly it was great. It was good. I'm not gonna like that. I'm not gonna hate on it because the action was sick. The detective work was pretty sick.
Double thumbs up.
My thing about the villains, I wish it was other villains aside from Penguin and the Riddler. I like the approach they came with the Riddler. Like he was like pretty much psycho serial killer
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah.
Not
I'm
like
get into that on my
not what I'm
thoughts.
used to with like
Oh, yeah.
always talking on like some funny like riddle or stuff like that. You know, even in the games, he has a more like
Playful
yeah,
tone.
you know.
Yeah.
And this one, heck no, he's crazy, dude. Like he'll stab you in the eye and like put it in a freaking corkscrew for you to. I don't even know, you know. Like he's just crazy.
Yeah, bro. Full jigsaw mode
Yeah,
right here, man.
like the scene where he like cuts off a thumb and then he attaches it to a flash drive and then he's
Thumb drive.
Yup, a thumb drive like
That was a funny joke,
pretty
too.
wild. But overall, it's pretty sick. I have a little list, but I'll let you go on because
All
I
right,
don't
all
wanna-
right, all right. But I will say, because I've only seen it the one time we first saw it together, the Friday it dropped, and I will say, man, overall, you're probably not surprised. I love this movie,
Oh, yeah.
man. But it's not perfect
And
by any stretch of the imagination. It has a few issues like there, but I don't think they're glaring issues. I don't think it's like, oh my God, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But this is a fantastic film
Yeah, it's a good one.
overall. And it's such a great Batman movie to me because, at least for me as like a very avid Batman fan,
Yeah.
really since I was a kid, is really one of my reasons why I'm into fandom to begin with was the Batman animated series.
Yeah,
Kevin
that's a good
Conroy,
one.
all that. Keaton, you know, fucking George Clooney's goofy ass with the Batman
The
credit
nipples.
card. Never leave the car without it. Or the bat nips. Or the bat butt. You know what I'm saying? But I just, you know, I love everything Batman, but this was the true blue, world's greatest detective, dark, edgy Batman story.
Yeah.
Fans like me have always wanted, and they fully delivered, man. And I feel that Robert Pattinson is the most screen accurate Batman ever on screen. I think Affleck is right there. I think Keaton and Bale have great moments where they do feel like true blue Batman, but I feel like Bale's voice gets a little too crazy for me at times.
I can feel that.
I also
Yeah.
feel that the physicality isn't there
Okay.
with Bale's Batman. It is the suit. It's not him physically.
Yeah.
I understand that. Same with all the other suits. But Affleck was really that first time we got to see that full-on badass Arkham type shit in that warehouse scene. He's beating niggas up. He's jumping over fools and using their heads to like fucking planting them on freaking boxes and
Yeah.
shit. Like he's going ape shit on people, using guns to beat people up with them and
How do you
shit.
feel that he was like so bulletproof?
Yeah, that is one thing we'll get more into, kind of in the mixed, more negative kind of section of
Oh,
it.
okay.
But at times I liked the way it was done. But I think at moments it was like, all right, dude, you've taken a lot of gunshots,
He
bro.
took literally a shotgun to the chest.
Yeah, like
blank, like point
one of
blank,
those,
bro.
you should have been at least down for a minute.
Heck yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it's a movie, so you can't just knock him out. But you gotta have some battle damage,
like
bro.
the first gunshot in the very opening scene when he takes down all those thugs. Which reminds me, do you think they are part of any other like bigger like villain? Like
Nah, I don't personally.
okay, there's just some thugs
Could be
who
wrong,
just
but I think they're just
face
thugs.
painted their stuff.
I think the
Fa-
face
face
paints to get
paint
you
their
thinking
shit.
about it.
Oh,
you
okay,
know?
yeah. I'm like, oh, who can they be related to? You know, like
Yeah.
obviously
Joker thugs.
Yeah, Joker
is
thug
it?
will paint their face. Obviously,
Yeah.
even in the Riddler's thugs, they all freaking put the
Have
mask,
the mask on,
Yeah,
so-
so I'm like, whoa, that's pretty sick. I wonder who they're gonna
could
be
be.
working for. But
Could be.
whatever. He takes 2 shots or 1 shot, whatever. I'm like, all right, acceptable. But the shotgun,
Yeah, the shotgun was where I was starting. In the machine guns, where he's walking down the hallway.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, Rob, let's calm down.
Yeah.
brother. Like, come on.
uh-huh.
You ain't wearing that shit from Justice League, okay? You
Yeah,
ain't got
or like
that suit
or
on.
like Batman or Superman when he put on the whole
Yeah.
Iron Man suit type of thing. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I understandable. You could totally take
that
a,
could take
a bazooka
Kryptonians.
if you want.
Then yeah, you could take gunshots.
yeah, you know,
But you just built that shit,
and
bro.
he's supposed to be a whole like 2-year age
Year two
Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, it's like,
You ain't got that kind of gear.
bro, take it easy, man.
Yeah. They definitely pushed it a little far with the gunshots.
Okay.
But the action scenes overall were fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed this, but I was thinking about it. It was cool seeing, depending on who he was fighting, he would change up his fight style. He would use a whole completely different discipline, you know? Like with Catwoman, he was using more like judo ninja type
Oh,
shit.
yeah, okay.
Where with the fucking thugs, he was just like kind of brawling more
Oh,
boxing.
yeah.
You know what
You're
I'm
right,
saying?
you're
So I
right.
liked how he switched up the style depending on what the challenge was. So you got to see his fighting in a little bit more of a grounded sense, but you still got that classic Batman that can do all the fighting that you want to see. So I thought they striked a good balance with that. I love Robert Pattinson's interpretation of the Batman. The voice is fantastic. The way that he can convey so much emotion and so much intimidation through his eyes and his body movements.
Yeah.
Like, he looked great in the costume. Like, Robert Pattinson might be my favorite Batman now, to be completely honest with you.
Okay.
The only thing holding him back a little bit in that regard, but I think he still might take my top spot, is the Bruce Wayne thing.
Yeah.
I think they're taking a long origin story type approach where he hasn't developed that persona,
Okay.
which is understandable to a certain extent. I just thought in his natural personality and dealing with Selena and Alfred, he would show something a little more different because he's just so similar to his Batman self. It's kind of like, okay, well, there's no Bruce Wayne, in the movie.
Yeah.
It's really just Batman the whole time, where for me, I don't mind that, but I do miss a little more of that Bruce Wayne, not even just the Playboy angle, but I just miss him and Alfred having more nuanced moments together and stuff like that. Like the hospital scene when he's talking to Alfred about all the stuff with his dad. I loved that. And I wanted more of like a difference to Bruce, and a little more of that different side of Bruce.
Honestly, in my opinion, he was a dick to Alfred.
Yeah, most of the time.
The very first interaction we see, he's yelling at him,
Definitely.
"Oh, you're not my dad." And like, whoa, bro,
I know,
this
like,
guy
what, 16?
raised
No.
you, right? Yeah, like, bro, this guy raised
You're not my
you.
dad.
And then when he's waking up from the coma or whatever, and he's
He was
like,
being a dick at first.
yeah, he's like, I'm like, bro, let him breathe, man. He's just waking up from a coma, okay?
Yeah. I understood him more in that moment because, like he has been doing in The Cowl, he's letting rage and emotions drive his actions, which, as we all know, and we both know, and all you know out there, never a good thing to do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of playing into that whole character study and his whole arc as a character, which is well done. I love by the end of the movie how he's like, damn, and that voiceover, like, I got to be more than just vengeance. I got to be hope. I'm inspiring some really fucked up shit right now because the Riddler was directly inspired by this guy. And I thought that played so well. And I love the villains in this personally.
Okay.
I felt the same way going into it. Do we have to do Riddler, Catwoman, and Penguin again?
Yes.
Now, we never got a definitive Penguin, and we never got a really dope Riddler. We got a nice one with Carrie. It's fun. It's what it is.
Yeah.
But we never got that true blue epic version that we could get like we have done with the Joker.
Is he even like that in comics? Like he...
Not really. Like,
Okay,
they took some
that's what I
Zodiac
expected,
killer
'cause this
energy.
guy is
He's
crazy,
like at least
dude.
2 to 3 notches darker than usual.
And like he's
there are
bashing
Riddlers
skulls
close
in like
to
almost
this.
all every victim he gets, like he's literally brashing in their skulls,
Yeah, like,
and I'm
it's
these guys
they're
nuts.
definitely darkening this up quite a bit.
Yeah.
But Riddler does have a darker side to him that they never really explored at all in live action. And I loved Paul Dano's performance.
Yeah.
I loved the way it was written
think it
and
fits
why
him.
he did it.
Yeah.
The motivations I thought were brilliant in the fact that, the whole Gotham renewal with, Thomas Wayne and his mother and all that, and the way that ties
That's
into
something
Arkham.
I didn't understand, honestly. Until the second time, I was like, okay, it's time. I guess I got
love
the
that.
puzzle pieces that were missing to understand that. But it's just like,
I personally like that stuff.
Well, let's continue on with, I guess, what we liked about the movie. And then,
So what we liked, and then
Yeah.
we'll get into the negatives
Yeah.
before we wrap it up.
what was
from
your
there.
favorite action scene in
Oh
the
man,
whole movie?
hands down, Batmobile chase scene with the
Okay,
Penguin.
that one is pretty
epic.
sick.
That's the best chase scene since Dark Knight, maybe better, bro.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the flipping of the truck and hit me, it would just be definitively better. I think it's only those two moments that really make it stand
For sure,
out
my
from
favorite
this.
one was
Woo.
the club scene when he arrives to like
That was dope too.
the Iceberg
Just
Lounge for the first
music,
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a classic Penguin location
Yep,
right there.
that is, yeah, that's
But
for sure.
I
is.
love the way that he snuck in there and then he's just beating people up and everything.
He didn't even sneak in. He
Oh no, that
freaking-
was the first scene, right?
Okay, yeah, he goes to the Iceberg
Yeah.
Lounge 3 times.
Yeah, he
one as
does.
Batman, one
Yeah.
as Bruce Wayne, and then one as like kind of as both.
Kind of in disguise,
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne.
Uh-huh.
Classic comic stuff.
Yeah,
I like
but
that.
I like how he meets those twins and like
Yeah,
which-
Tweedledee, Tweedledum.
the one I didn't understand was in the beginning everyone's afraid of him. So why would these two guys be like, all right, you better leave, bro, otherwise there's gonna be blood? And I was thinking, whoa. I thought in the beginning all these thugs were afraid of you. Why would you square up to Batman? You're gonna get your ass whomped.
I thought about that too, but I was thinking it's more the common thug, kind of like they're so connected into this mob shit, and this being their kind of home base,
Oh,
they
okay.
feel like they kind of
They
have
had
the one up on him. You know what I'm saying?
No, heck no. He
But
just
no,
he
you
literally
don't.
punches both of them in the face, drops them both, walks in, and just people start swarming him, and he just knocking
Where's the
fools
Penguin?
up, down, left, right.
Fucking dope.
He's shooting the grappling hook to the people's leg. I'm like,
I know.
oh
I was
damn,
like, oh,
okay.
shit.
That was pretty sick. I
Hell
like
yeah,
that.
man. Take it easy, sweet eye.
Yeah.
Oh, man. One of my other biggest positives of this thing, but yeah, the Batmobile Penguin chase scene is amazing. This is the dopest Batmobile ever. come at me, bro. This is the best Batmobile, hands down. Easy.
I'm trying to remember how Ben Affleck's looked like.
I never loved the look, but it was a badass Batmobile.
I
though.
always thought
Great action scenes.
the Bale one was too like clunky,
Too
like
tanky,
too tanky.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Still like
I really
it,
like
but-
George Clooney's one. That one pretty fits like as a Batman. I could totally see that as a toy. But
That's
I guess
exactly what they were going
But
for.
I guess yeah, you're right.
I have it still
But
in the
for
garage,
aesthetics,
man.
I guess you're right. This Batmobile looks sick. Like it looked like a freaking
So
old
dope.
style classic like
Exactly what
Mustang
it
or
is.
anything like that, you know?
But I just love the way that they filmed it and the way it looks.
Yeah.
And the way that it has the nitrous on some fucking Fast and the Furious type shit.
That screeching
Man.
when yeah, it's like so intimidating. You're like, oh shit.
I was like, this is great.
Uh-huh.
It looked like Christine in the fucking alleyway right there, bro. Some straight up John Carpenter, Stephen King shit, man. But I love that scene overall. The Iceberg Lounge
Dude,
is a great scene.
I-
I like the Catwoman Batman fight too, for as simple as it is. I like how that's ripped straight out of the Long Halloween comic and just so well choreographed too.
Yeah, I bet you got so hyped and they're like, yeah, it's Halloween night. You were like, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I was
I
like,
bet.
fuck yes.
You're a
I
fucking
literally
fan of
said that. I just
Halloween,
whispered. I was
yeah.
like, fuck yes.
But
Ugh.
one thing that got me by the swerve, right, was his very first like detective scene when
When he's
they
going
killed
in there recording?
the
mayor?
yeah the mayor pretty much.
Yeah.
I was like in my head, I was like, okay, I remember in the game he had all these like gadgets that would give him like this like night vision to be able him to see fingerprints and blood. And I was already hating on it because like I said, I'm not a huge Batman fan, but I'm like, okay, he is Batman. He's supposed to have some crazy ass gadgets for him to be a detective, you know?
Right.
And I literally loved right when I was thinking that you go to his Batcave and he takes off these contacts that like
I was thinking
are
the same
recording
shit.
everything, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry, man. I don't want
Good
to
shit, Matt
hit on
Reeves.
you right now.
Good shit, y'all.
Because that was classic, dude. One of my favorite.
Simple but effective.
Yeah, and like in the games, obviously you play the
Yeah.
Arkham games.
Oh yeah.
The detective.
I played
levels,
all of them
you know?
except one of them, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, the detective like levels, like I love how you have to go get down, look for the blood stains, the fingerprints, like where the actual bullet came from, like
The
you see all
trajectory
that.
of the
yeah,
bullet.
like everything, you know.
And he was saying all this shit. He's
Yeah,
like,
and I was
"Oh,
like, okay.
based on the markings on the floor.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah.
Or
I'm
he
like,
was able to tell that the thumb was just freshly cut or whatever. He was
Yeah.
still alive.
There's some stuff around the
Yeah.
thumb that means blah blah blah. I'm like, Bruce Wayne. See,
Uh-huh.
like you do get Bruce Wayne, you know, in the Batman thing, because that's the intelligence of Bruce Wayne in the training he went through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I say I think everything that informs Batman, Bruce Wayne comes through amazing. And that's the thing I'll say I like about this movie. You do see some Bruce Wayne in him a little bit in certain moments, like the hospital scene more when it becomes more, you know, he starts to listen to what Alfred's saying.
Yeah.
The moments of the detective, the more of the investigations, and some of his interactions with Selena. I think you do get to see a little bit of that heart and that Bruce Wayne of him. I just don't think you got enough of that balance throughout the whole thing for especially someone like me that's like a big Batman fan. But I think we're going to build to that in the sequels. And you got to have the long game in mind these days, especially because everyone's about franchises and
Yeah.
tie-ins
You
and all
see,
this other shit. But
Was
yeah.
Bruce's father like always a mayor, or was he always running for a mayor, like in the comics?
done
or,
stuff like
because I
this.
think this was the first time I ever even heard of
him
like his
running
dad.
for mayor.
Yeah,
As far as I know, I think this is original to the movie. As far as I know, I'm gonna do some research after we record this. So if I find out I'm wrong, I'll flash some panels. on the
make sure
screen.
that you hate on him right
Make
now in
the
the
correction.
comments. Be like, hey, this
Hey,
guy sucks. Nah,
hey,
I'm just kidding.
Don't at me, bro.
Don't-
No. But,
But-
fucking. But as far as I know, he's never been running for mayor. But he has made billionaire
'Cause-
funds to support the city.
Okay, look, that's one part I didn't like about the Bruce Wayne from this movie. Like he doesn't really like do anything for the city, you know? He's always like
He was going
hidden.
to, but then it
He's
kind of
al-
went south.
Yeah, like he's always no. I'm talking about Bruce Wayne now, not even
Oh,
Thomas
Bruce Wayne,
Wayne.
yeah,
like
oh,
he
sorry.
he
I
does,
got you.
He does
I got you.
nothing for the city. He doesn't like do anything with his money. He's just like in hiding the whole time. So to me, that's a more a believable like thing. Like, oh yeah, this guy might be Batman because where is he? He's nowhere around. He doesn't come to like the city council meetings or whatever. You know.
It's
So,
a lot of suspension of disbelief
yes.
with this version of Bruce Wayne at this early stage.
And
yeah.
back to the parents part. The part where I got lost was like his mom was she was in Arkham, right?
Yeah, so here's how it goes down.
Okay.
So you got the bloodline of the original people in Gotham that founded Gotham, right?
Okay.
The Waynes are a part of that.
I got it.
And then Martha's family are the Arkhams. They ended up finding the institution of Arkham Asylum. At some point in the past, her mother killed her father, and in reaction to that grief and to that trauma in her early adulthood, she went through a mental breakdown
Yeah.
and got locked into Arkham Asylum.
Okay.
Later on, at some point in the future, she met Thomas Wayne. They got together and had Bruce. During his electoral run as mayor of Gotham, when he created the Renewal Fund to put $1 billion budget into the city to support and help out the city, and also donated their old mansion to create the orphanage that Edward Nigma, or AKA Edward Nashton, the Riddler, is from. All that ties in together. Martha, she had a breakdown. They didn't want anyone to know because this reporter.
Oh, so she had a breakdown.
Yeah, she had a mental breakdown and went cuckoo. She didn't kill anybody, but she had a mental breakdown. And in real life, if you have one of those, even if you don't hurt anybody, you do get locked up for a while. So she got locked up, and they were going to use this as blackmail to get Thomas Wayne from getting voted into office.
Yeah.
He didn't care about that. He didn't want people to know that about his mother, and she didn't want her getting into the public eye, which is understandable too, especially in the 21st century. And this is when this takes place.
Okay.
Because it's 20 years ago. If it's real time, this was 2001, right? When Bruce and all this stuff goes down. He goes to Falcone, John Turturro's character, to go scare the guy into not publishing this article about what went on with his mother. He goes too far and takes this into his own hands, kills the reporter, and then when Bruce Wayne's dad, Thomas Wayne, threatens to go to the police and admit what he's done and confess, he has him killed, potentially.
Yeah.
And that's how the Gotham Renewal Fund got into the hands of the criminals and became corrupt. They used that fund and pushed it forward and got the right people into power and corrupted the cops involved in order to use that to fund their criminal organizations.
See, now that you said all that, that's why I kind of like the Riddler a lot, because in my opinion, he's not really killing anyone innocent, you know? He's killing corrupt people.
Yeah, they're not wholly innocent people.
Like, he's literally, like, going up against people with power who are, like, doing the wrong thing. Obviously, even literally in our real life, that people who are in power are doing some fucked up stuff now, like fucking obviously, like, these gas prices lame, prices for medicine
and it supposedly ties into Ukraine, Russian.
I'm not buying it, but that's like a whole other subject we could get into.
Exactly,
but
that's why this film works.
That's one of the reasons why I'm like, this guy fucking rocks, because he's killing freaking people who honestly shouldn't be in charge. Yeah, he's killing them in a super brutal way. Maybe tone it down a bit, but hey, these guys aren't that clean either, you know?
See, that's the dichotomy that you get with him and Batman throughout this entire film, and the way that it crescendos near the end in that Arkham Asylum sequence when he's like, no, we're a team, dude. Like, we're working together.
Oh,
like how the Joker had that same moment with him.
Yeah.
But this, to me, worked even better because you had this whole 2 hours building up this plot and this riddle and this conspiracy he discovered and wanted to unmask. Why did he get this idea? Because he was the accountant that got his hands on the Gotham Renewal Fund and saw where the money trail led. Who gave him the idea to put on a mask? Batman. Who creates his own rogues gallery a lot of the times? Batman.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? And that's that discussion that comes up a lot. But it also makes sense. Nature versus nurture, man. And it's like, oh, I can't beat up thugs like he does. But since I have all this knowledge and I'm this smart, I could pretty much get over on these guys and expose Gotham for what it really is. The bomb thing kind of goes a step too far, obviously, I'll mention a little bit of that later. Although I love that sequence and the scene.
Okay.
There's a couple little, not logic issues, but I think there's a couple things with that I don't love as much, but I still like the scene overall.
Yeah.
And the ending fight is cool and everything. But that's one thing about Riddler. It's just he has a point, just like Heath Ledger Joker in a sense in The Dark Knight. But this is even more real, more palpable, more relatable.
I
you know what I'm saying?
That,
everything with Riddler to me is fantastic. Performance, costume, motivation, action, the writing, and just the overall dialogue is just fantastic.
Yeah.
That whole rat trap,
that was
fucking
pretty
nightmare
sick.
shit,
Yeah,
man. That's
I
nightmare
bet.
fuel right there. Woo!
Yeah, so I just got a little lost with the whole, like, the parent stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess I can understand it more.
Plays
because
into the corruption.
I didn't know she had a breakdown, like, and like during his run.
Yeah.
I just thought because she had a past where like her parents were crazy. They were using that against Thomas Wayne, which left me thinking, okay,
Well, who gives a shit?
yeah, it's like okay, that happened
They
in
ain't
the
even
past.
alive anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like she's totally fine right now. Like, why would that even be a like a bad
Yeah,
thing right
see,
now?
but that's the whole reason why I love the way Matt Reeves and them crafted this film. Putting in the Martha angle is like, oh, cool. So it looks like corruption if Bruce doesn't have all the information, but it's not. It's someone wanting to protect those that they love and the reputations of those that they love from all this other shit. But I love the way that Alfred's like, well, maybe it was just a random thug. Maybe it wasn't Falcone. We'll never know.
Yeah.
So we don't have a definitive answer for the origin story of that. I love that. That's real life sometimes. They don't always catch the killer.
Yep.
You don't always know what happened. So that, to me, just played really well. And getting into one of the big, obvious positives of the movie, other than Pattinson, is definitely going to be the Penguin with Colin Farrell. This guy transformed himself into a completely different character,
doesn't even
man.
look like Farrell at all, dude. Like,
Nope, not at all.
Not
didn't
even
sound
close,
like him. Didn't look like him. It didn't feel like him.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Man, they got to give the Oscar for the makeup at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Come
That.
on.
I just felt like he could have been more of a threat for sure.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but we're building to that, you know?
Yeah.
And with them already saying they had a series in the works,
Yeah.
I was totally fine with how much or how little he was in the movie, but every scene he had was either very important to the film or had a lot of big impact. Like I said, that chase scene is going to be one of my favorite Batman scenes for the rest of my life. So, and it's going to be one of the coolest moments in any Batman movie for the rest of the Batman's existence.
Damn, you
I
played
think
that much?
I love that
You
scene.
don't even know the future, bro. Whoa,
I'm
that's
telling
crazy.
you, that and the Dark Knight chase. Those are like illest scenes ever. Like,
The
I
Dark
love
Knight
those
chase.
scenes. Obviously, I've had 12 years with the Dark Knight already, but still, or 14 years, but still, that scene is great, dude. I love it, man. Like the whole, I got you, you freaking psycho.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
just comes through the fucking flames like a
Yeah.
bat out of hell, bro. And just the whole thing with, come on, man, a bat with wings? A rat with wings? He's talking about you.
Yeah.
What do you mean a penguin? Spanish your weakness?
Yeah,
Come on,
that's
guy.
funny.
Like
I
just
know hablo
every
español.
scene with him, man, was just fantastic.
yeah.
And the whole interrogation with Batman and Penguin in that first initial scene with them together was fantastic. And then introducing Selena Kyle right there, doing her thing. One of my other big positives
Oh,
of this
we
movie.
haven't even talked anything about
Nope.
it, actually.
I was saving that for this point in the thing because I love Zoe Kravitz as an actress in general. I'm a fan of hers, but she absolutely nailed Selena Kyle,
Yeah, she was
aka
pretty sick. I
Catwoman.
liked her.
Loved her in this movie,
too.
man. And the whole angle with her and Falcone of him being her father, I found out that is from a recent comic book run.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
within the
shit.
last 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And I don't keep up with all the super modern Batman stories.
Yeah.
So that was one I missed. The same thing with the Martha stuff. That's from modern stuff too.
Oh.
So Matt
damn.
Reeves is actually pulling in some really classic lore like Long Halloween with really new stuff. So I like how even me as a Batman fan that's been a longtime fan, I'm getting to learn new stuff too and getting to go on a new experience and a new journey with this movie. And that's the thing, man, with Selena Kyle, Catwoman right here. This is the accurate comic book version right here. I love Michelle Pfeiffer. Her performance is still one of the best, if not the best, but that's very comic booky in the sense of it goes away from that and becomes kind of more over the top with the 9 lives that come out of nowhere and
Yeah.
the superpowers and shit like that because she got licked by a couple cats and fell out a window.
That's funny.
I don't get it. This was much better. She had, martial arts training.
Yeah.
She's a whiz at stealing shit.
Yep.
And she's a very smart, resourceful person.
could
Her and
break her-
Bruce's dynamic
break her
was
entering for
perfect.
sure. Yeah.
And I thought she brought a lot of that humanity out of Bruce Wayne that we needed and very much wanted throughout the movie and ties into his character turn at the end.
Yeah, I
You know
really
what I'm
like the
saying?
scene when she goes into like the 44 below, like the other club
Yeah,
within
man.
the club.
The whole eye,
that was pretty
the
sick. Yeah, she
camera
puts on
stuff.
the
And he's like,
contacts.
hey, look at his face longer.
Yeah, like that was a pretty sick scene.
Love it, man.
I like the whole that when they meet up for the first time when she's entering
Right
into the
out
mayor,
of Long Halloween, dog.
entering the mayor's house. So
Literally.
like the ex-mayor's house.
ex-mayor,
Because
yeah.
my boy's dead. He's breaking and entering. That was pretty cool.
Love
I guess my only complaint was her mask.
Oh, not
it was
feeling it, huh?
like her suit was almost perfect. Like I want to say perfect.
You
know?
wouldn't even have to change that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like the mask was the only thing that was like, wait a second, where'd you get this at? 99-cent store? Which is
To me, it took
okay,
it like she
it's-
got a beanie, like
Yeah,
like
just
a
like-
ski mask,
uh-huh.
turned it into a cat-looking thing,
But
whatever.
I can't expect much because she does live like in a rundown apartment. You know, she
Yeah.
ain't no fucking billionaire like Bruce Wayne over here.
Yeah.
I totally understandable. But I wish she put a little bit more effort into it. I'm more of a fan when Catwoman actually wears like a big mask, not a
like
big
mask,
mask,
like,
but like
over her
actual
face.
mask compared to just like the eye mask, like how we've seen like in previous other flicks or
Yeah.
shows. Because
Like
that's
Michelle
so obvious.
Pfeiffer without the rips in there, but
Oh,
pretty much
yeah.
like her, right?
Uh-huh,
Like
yes.
the more over the cowl type look.
Yes,
Yeah.
because Anne Hathaway's Catwoman, you could totally tell it's Anne Hathaway just because
True.
Come on, and then
Total Green Lantern energy.
yeah, yes, you know that picture you posted up with like all the Catwomans that were there. I was
Yeah.
like, you could almost tell all these chicks are like their identities. Like,
That is true.
You could tell,
Especially
you know?
the first two.
Like freaking Gordon's gonna be like, whoa, that's freaking Anne Hathaway right there.
For real, bro. For
Yeah.
real, dog. But yeah, man, I absolutely love her overall in this
Yeah,
film
me
and her
too.
whole story arc and the whole thing of her wanting to kill Falcone and Batman saying, you don't have to sacrifice
Oh,
your
yeah.
integrity to do this.
Yes.
Don't lose something because you want to get your revenge on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just loved her performance and everything in there. Hey, you want to do a Catwoman series? Sign me up.
I'll be down for that too.
You want to do a movie? Sign me up.
Yeah.
Give me more Zoe Kravitz Catwoman immediately.
Yep.
I want more. I can't wait for that Penguin series. I heard it's going to go total Scarface, and I know you haven't seen it yet, but that movie is about a mobster going from the right-hand man to the guy.
Oh,
and
shit,
getting
okay.
greedy and getting into all the negative aspects of his personality in the long run, even going into some betrayals and like really fucked up stuff with his family and friends. So you really get to see that descent of his character that just completely becomes everything that a mobster wants to aspire to be,
If
you
it
know?
was gonna be more like mobster base, I wish they added a whole new like villain we haven't seen, like Black Mask. Like, come on, dude, Big Penguin we've already seen. You
Hey,
know?
you could have even cast Colin Farrell, but I feel like he didn't want to do it because they just did it in Harley Quinn's movie. Like literally. With Obi-Wan Kenobi
God
himself.
damn it, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Okay,
So
I take it back.
that's the problem. But I'm with you where they could have picked another mobster-esque character out of
Yes.
the Batman lore and done something like that.
Yeah,
I
'cause-
just don't mind seeing Falcone because they're always such background
No,
players.
not Falcone. Okay,
Penguin, yeah.
To me, Falcone's a whole new character.
great addition,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay. The Penguin. I'm talking about the Penguin.
Yeah,
Just the Penguin
I'm with
itself.
you. I'm with you.
Like, obviously, after seeing him, not after, but I've known about it for a while. Seeing him in Under the Red Hood, awesome character, awesome mobster. He just because he's pissed, he's setting up like 5 bodyguards and he's cracking them in the face. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so mad right now. Take this, man. Like a scene like that would have been sick.
That's
you know?
true.
Especially in like how we already have Riddler being so freaking like violent. That would add on just to more. You know, like
That's
oh
true.
shit, that's dope.
But yeah, overall, I'm totally satisfied with the Penguin, and hopefully moving forward they do pick fresher villains to go
Yeah.
off of. That is for sure. But yeah, man, I mean, any other positives I gotta highlight? Oh yeah, James Gordon in this movie, played by Jeffrey Wright, also the same actor that did the voice of the Watcher recently, Uatu. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I loved
didn't-
his.
Oh, what? That's him?
Yeah,
Oh,
same actor.
shit, that's
But yeah,
cool.
his dynamic with the Batman in this movie, perfect Gordon Batman energy. That's exactly what I've always wanted in a Batman film.
Yeah.
The whole way that they work together, and everyone's like, "Yo, Jim, get this fucking psycho out of here, man." And he's like, "Hold up,
Yeah, I
trust
like-
me.
Oh, dude,
I know what I'm doing."
Okay, yeah.
Like, I love that, and the whole sequence of when he got knocked out,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, "Hey, take his mask off."
Yeah,
I was like,
I like,
finally.
I like that. I like the scene when they're inside the police station.
Yeah,
the
it
police
was
station.
so good.
When they're like, "Oh, you're about to take his mask," and he's about to square up to all the cops.
All
He
those
didn't
fools,
care,
bro. And I remember that shot was in the trailer, and I was like, "What's he doing fighting cops?"
Yeah.
And now the whole all the context is perfect.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "All right, calm down." And then they're like, "You know what this motherfucker just did? He's an accomplice to murder."
Yeah, which
and then I'm like, "How, bro? He got blown the fuck up. What do you mean?" And that whole sequence in the at the funeral was
Oh my gosh.
fantastic.
Yeah, I
the
agree
fucking
with
car
that.
coming in
Yeah.
and him saving the kid, and then the whole fucking bomb and everything, and then Batman's trying to solve riddles, and the dude's like, "Nah, dude, nope, just blow me
Yeah.
up, fuck it." I'm like, "Yo, what?"
we'll get there. To me,
God damn.
See,
but I love that whole scene, and then Gordon's like, "All right, I'm gonna act like I'm yelling at you.
yeah, and you just punch
I
me in the
need you
face. Yeah,
to punch me in the face so you can get out of here, and I'll meet up with you later." And he's like, "You sure about this?" But one of my favorite lines in the movie when they're looking at the corrupt cop guy, Kinsey, and he's like, "Oh, so you saw Kinsey there? He's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, so Kinsey moonlights as a mobster or whatever he says. Nah, he moonlights as a cop. Like, he's not really a fucking cop, bro. Like, he's just a corrupt asshole. The cop is the mask.
Yeah.
Not that. But I just love the way he says that. And he's just looking at him like, nah, he moonlights as a cop. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking Batman, bro. Like, Robert Pattinson's gone. This is the Batman right here. And then he just fucking punches the shit out of him and then runs out of there. And I'm like, oh, shit, dude, they're chasing him down. And you finally get the Batarang gun or whatever you call it. When he zip lines up
that
through
was
the building and they're shooting at him and everything.
Like that, yeah.
And I didn't give a shit about the gunshots. I'm like, that makes sense. They have to shoot at him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is great. And the whole, like, fucking skydiving suit type thing, that was a really cool surprise, too.
I have to oppose that.
Now, here's my thing. I don't want them to stick with that for the rest of this franchise.
Okay.
I'm cool with it right here because he's still getting the technology made. And the one thing is, too, that I was thinking about just yesterday, getting ready to do this episode with you, because just trying to make sure I had all my thoughts. I think it's because he hasn't been using Wayne Enterprises to develop this technology as much.
Okay.
So he probably doesn't have the resources because he hasn't been smart about the way he's using his money.
Now let's just transition to the stuff I didn't like.
You know what I'm saying?
All right,
but
so,
yeah, that can transition us because there's a few things I don't like either.
Okay, honestly, that whole suit when he escapes the cops, it was a great scene to when he jumps and used that freaking fly suit. I didn't like it. I was like, whoa. I'm so used to
just the
Batman.
wings,
Just
yeah.
like he jumps, opens his fucking cape, and he's like gliding. That's cool.
Yeah.
The only time it was acceptable was during Dark Knight when he's going to another whole other like
country. Yeah.
No, he jumps from one. Oh my gosh, I can't even think of the name right now.
Like a skyscraper?
Yeah, he jumps from one skyscraper to another. Okay, because he's not ascending down. He's going straight, you know? Okay.
True.
Awesome. But he's going down, you know? He could use his freaking cape and he glides through. One of my favorite things about the game was sticking out my cape and just flying through.
Yeah, especially
you
Arkham
know?
City.
Yes, you know?
Yeah.
So when he pulled out a whole suit and he didn't even stick the landing, I was like, what? Bro, you're supposed to be fucking
It was
awesome.
kind of funny, though, because I was like, I guess it would be really hard to land, though.
Yes, exactly. That's the first thing that comes to my head. I'm like, how are you gonna land with a fly suit with a cape? It makes way more sense. Like
That's a true point.
Okay, I didn't like that part.
I think in that regard, they were trying a little too hard to be different.
Yes.
But I don't think it's so out of place where you couldn't explain it. But at the same time, I would just prefer Batwings, you know?
Yes, me too.
For sure. It's a cool scene, but I would prefer Batwings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you also brought up the part about the bomb. I
Yeah.
didn't like that he literally about to see that he's about to get blown up and he just still stands there and takes the explosion. And it all refers back to having the cape. I thought his cape, from what like I've always seen all my life about Batman, he has a fireproof or fire resisting cape where he's able to maybe like put it up and take off some of that impact of the bomb.
That's true.
What's up with that? He just
I don't
stood
know.
there and he's like, oh, what's the answer? Oh, nothing? Dunsies. And I was like, bro, you just put yourself in the police hands. They're
Yeah,
trying to
that, like I
freaking-
said, I think that plays into the whole thing if he's not using his resources to his advantage.
Okay.
He
all right.
only developed the eye thing, you know?
Some stuff that they bring up are like drops, which is supposed to be like drugs or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
like,
think that's out of the comics. I'm not I think so.
and like some of them are referred to drop heads. So it's like,
Yeah.
what is that? Like,
I think that's a drug in the
are we
comics.
supposed to know anything about that?
No. I think
No.
that's like a small reference.
Okay.
I really think that's in either a previous comic series or animated series or something. But I think that's from the comics.
Because-
I'm pretty sure, like Death Sticks in Star Wars.
Or like
they never
Spice.
say what it is. Spice.
Yeah.
They never tell you what it is, but it's just some kind of illegal drug.
Yeah.
You know?
Because okay, this is the thing that I felt about it, about kind of like a little iffy about it. Batman is literally seeing the Penguin do like pretty much drug transactions in front of him with Catwoman, you know, or Selena. There you go. And I'm just like, okay, he's gonna stand there and be like, hey. Or the Penguin's gonna be a burn guy and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this little cell right here, right in front of him. What's up with that? I thought he was supposed to be like, you know, for the peeps and be like, hey, don't be doing that shit, dude.
True.
Maybe
but-
that's just a little more nitpicky. And the last
Yeah.
the last nitpick for me is because the other two reasons after this, I consider them big. These ones are just little stuff that is just whatever, you know. Not a single batarang was thrown.
Yo, I didn't realize that till I listened to another review about the movie.
Not
I was like,
a single
there's not one.
One.
I didn't even think about it in the movie.
I thought about that as I drove off
never
home,
thought about
and I was thinking about the movie, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he didn't even throw one batarang. That's like Spidey not throwing any of his spider webs. That's like his thing.
You know, it's weird because I have to be honest, it didn't bother me, but it is weird. But I didn't notice it until like days later. So you're not wrong for the nitpick. It just, if I'm being honest, didn't bother me.
Yeah, I was just like, whoa.
I'm shocked it doesn't bother me.
I'm trying
though.
to think of maybe of a scene where he could have used it, but there was not even like a single scene where he had like
A reason to
batarangs
use
or
it.
whatever.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. There was no scene where like he had maybe.
And I feel like he hasn't made the idea too, is what I kind of thought of. When I thought about it later, I was like, you know, I guess in a sense, would it make sense for him to have every gadget 2 years into it?
no.
You know,
I
like
guess you're
certain
right.
things he would have to be like, I wish I had something for this. And he'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, I'll make that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know how he used the smoke in the Riddler sequence when all the Riddlers are running around?
Yeah.
And he used the smoke to his advantage
Okay,
to jump at
he,
them?
he totally could have used the batarangs there and in the freaking
Yeah.
and
And the smoke bombs.
club scene, like for sure.
Yeah.
right there.
But that was where I was thinking, like, okay, I kind of see what you're doing with the tech a little bit. He's growing and learning, so as each movie progresses, he'll probably have more gadgets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that is true. There's not a single batarang in there, and that might bother some really hardcore Batman fans out there. But as one personally, it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
weird, but that's actually a good thing to point out.
These are the two reasons. Check it out. The Riddler's cover gets blown, not even by Batman. He gets blown by a civilian that saw him going to the diner just chilling there. So that kind of takes away the whole part where like he's a badass detective, just a little bit, because
I felt the same
He is
way.
a badass detective.
I was gonna
where
point that out,
The
too.
police are like, yo, Martha, whatever her name was.
Hey, I saw them go around the corner
He
over
over here
there.
chilling in the diner, you know.
I was like, what?
And like they show up, yeah, they comprehend him so easy. He's enjoying a nice little frappuccino, and I'm like, bro, what? Not
That's
even-
because his plan's already done, you know?
So he purposely let himself get caught then.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was what I was saying.
So why
They're
is he so
pulling a
fucking
Dark Knight move
crazy
right there.
about him being in jail then?
Because he thought that he was going to blow up everything. Everything's going to go to shit. I'm going to kill the Batman. I didn't get Bruce Wayne because that was another good swerve right there where we thought he knew he was Bruce
yeah.
Wayne, but he didn't.
Uh-huh.
That was one of my last positives.
Oh, that's right, he
But,
didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, but to me it was like, oh, I'm going to blow up Gotham real quick. It's going to be straight up no man's land out here. And then we're going to get out of the asylum and I'm going to be scot-free, continuing what I'm doing. And I could be the new Batman. This is my city now. So that was kind of what I was thinking.
Yes.
He pretty much was counting his chickens before they hatched.
And I just didn't like that part. Like it just took away a little bit from the detective
From the
work.
intelligence of what he was doing the whole time. That was one of my negatives as well. And that's with some of the stuff in that last like action scene of the third act. I just thought it kind of went against his plan because I'm like, weren't you trying to just target the people that were corrupt and stuff?
Yes.
Why are you blowing up Gotham in general? You
And
know, you're
killing
just
all these
killing a bunch of
people,
people,
yeah.
right? Like, why are you killing innocent orphans like yourself to try to get at these people? It's like, I get we need a big third act kind of thing for Batman to go against.
Yeah.
And it is cool in a sense to see where things go in the future with Gotham being fucked up like that. But it's like you're kind of jumping a leap in logic a little bit, and it doesn't kind of make sense with his overall motivation throughout the film. I like seeing the cult come around him because that is kind of today's mentality, is a cult mentality, is kind of a group thinking kind of thing. People aren't necessarily independent thinkers as much these days. You know what I'm saying? With
Yeah.
the internet, with the internet and all that other shit. So I think that plays, but the whole blowing up Gotham thing to me seemed a little silly and over the top for what we were doing in this movie. Not a Batman movie, just this movie.
Yeah.
Felt a little weird. I still like the scene, but logically and script writing and all that kind of shit, it's a little weird.
All right, and now my last thing was, I know this is not his name. I'm just making fun of him, but this macaroni guy, who is that?
Sal Maroni?
Yes.
He's another big,
Like-
well, not big, but I would say out of the mob characters in the Gotham lore, he's the second biggest one. It's him and Falcone. They're kind of like Blood's Crips.
It's
That's
just
kind of like the thing.
oh, okay. It's just like they didn't show no face. They were just like,
I found that interesting
they
too.
talked about him so much to the point where like
You would
we're
think
like,
you would see a picture,
yes, or like a flashback,
newscast.
or
Yeah.
like we even saw Thomas Wayne's like old videos. Show me a freaking video of macaroni right
Martha
here.
real quick.
Yeah, you know, it's
True.
like I was just like, who they're talking about him like as
Kid
we're
Riddler.
expected to know who that is. Like if you were talking about the Joker, okay, super different. Like, all right, let's say I go watch this movie. with me just being me, and I take a date,
casual Batman
like
fan,
not even a
yeah.
casual, just like a date who doesn't even
doesn't
know
like these
anything about
movies like
Batman.
that, yep.
I bet you 100% she's gonna be like, oh, who is that guy? I'll be like, fuck, I don't know.
Who?
Like, yeah, you know. Like you have to
That's true.
you have to know super like you have to be into Batman to know who that is. But to me, I was like, who? They talk about him so much, and I don't even know who that is. Show me a face. Show me a flashback. Show me what he did.
To make it more palpable for the audience in general.
You know?
Someone like me, oh yeah, I know Maroni.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, with me, who I'm a freaking nerd, and I like some Batman, like know some a good amount, honestly. But when they came down to that name, I was like, whoa, I don't know who that is.
See, but I agree with you. They definitely could have added a face.
Yes.
At least even if not a flashback, just put him on a newsreel or in a news report.
I would have been
or
okay.
something
Yeah,
like
I would have
that.
been okay
Newspaper
with like
clipping.
Yeah, you know, they
something.
could have done
Yeah,
that for sure. And I was just a little lost sometimes.
Cast like
with
a big
that.
actor, like just to do that.
Yeah,
and you
you
kind of
know?
Russell Crowe.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit.
There you-
okay.
okay,
He was
that would have
Maroni.
been perfect.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, because it does play a factor in a role in this movie.
Yeah.
Now, let's say in the Penguin series they do show him, or let's say in the Arkham series.
But that would be just too late though, because the movie's already out.
You could, but I'm with you. In this movie, for this initial time, let's say we didn't like the movie, let's say the majority of fans didn't like it, then you wasted your opportunity.
Yeah.
So I'm with you there. That was more of a minor negative for me too. Like, you don't really flesh out who Maroni is for the people that might not know the lore on that level. Ra's al Ghul, I didn't know a lot about that going into Batman Begins. Totally caught me up and got me up to speed with it.
Exactly.
Easily. And then I did all the digging from there and learned even more about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very
even that's
fleshed
more
out.
of a household name than freaking Maroni, man. I didn't know
Yeah,
who that is
that's
at all.
true.
Like I've never even heard that name ever in any type of Batman things ever.
Yeah, I heard it from either the comics or one of the animated films. But I
Oh,
heard
shit,
about it
okay.
from there. And then from that point, I realized he was one of the big mob guys next to Falcone and the Black Mask and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, they definitely could have fleshed that out a little bit more. But yeah, man, some of my negatives going into it as well. I did kind of wish that Catwoman had more of an arc throughout the movie, like she changed more as a person.
Some like character development.
like
Development, yeah.
Batman did. Like Bruce Wayne, now he's starting to feel like, okay, I think we're going to start getting into a little bit more of what we wanted out of him as a character, being more three-dimensional, a little more dichotomy to it. I would have enjoyed that with Selina as well, and getting a little more of an arc other than the fact of just wanting to kill her dad and get revenge for that.
Yeah.
Good character development, but I just wanted more of an arc, more of a change. But at the same time, I know we're playing the long game. Matt Reeves wants to do a Batman universe. So Tony Stark did not start off as what we know him to be now.
Yeah.
So I know we got to build these
You
blocks.
for sure can't
but
fucking compare that.
I
but-
know, but I'm just saying, like, I could have said that about Tony Stark too. Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's not enough of an arc in the first movie. He just doesn't really change much.
I guess you're right. If we're standing in 2008, I guess you're
I
right.
would probably say the same thing.
Yeah.
He's not as much of a dick. Like, she's not as vengeful, but it's not that much less. Where Bruce, I can really feel the change in him. And I think we're going to see a little more of the stuff we were missing from Bruce Wayne's side of the character in the sequels and in the other material going forward. But judging this movie right now, I think Selina Kyle could have had a little more to do in the film. Alfred also, I wish he had more to do in the film.
Yeah, I like that.
I
what's his
love
name?
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis.
He's great as a CGI
I like him a lot,
character
yeah.
or not. I really like that actor. I think he brought a really good amount of energy and he had a good performance as Alfred.
Yeah.
But I just wanted more of Alfred in the story and playing more of a pivotal role. I felt like they kind of put him in there and then just took him out, gave him one last great scene, and then that was kind of it. He didn't really make too much of an impact in this movie, where every other Alfred felt like they were very integral to it,
Yeah.
So that's the
true.
one thing I have as a negative as well, but I still like the performance. It's good. I like Andy Serkis. I like how he has like a history with being in the service and stuff like that. He taught Bruce how to fight and things of that nature. Really cool stuff there, but just want a little bit more from that character in the future. And like I mentioned earlier, a little more of the dichotomy and duality between Bruce Wayne and Batman would be appreciated, but I think we're going to get there over
Yeah.
time. More Batmobile. I was missing the Batmobile in this movie, man.
That's funny.
Especially after that dope scene. I was like, are we going to get some more Batmobile? Oh, damn it. No. In the flood, maybe?
The flood.
I was like, hey, maybe he'll trick it out real quick. But
You don't want to get
I
water
wanted a little more
in his
Batmobile
engine.
action. I'm just a Batmobile junkie. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
So what we got was great, but I would have liked a little bit more. That's for sure. But I'm trying to think, man. Is there any other negatives I have? Only other thing I could really point at as a minor negative or a nitpick for sure was the gunshots thing for sure. I don't know how the hell he was standing
For sure,
point
dude.
blank double barrel shotgun
Like
shots
what the heck,
to the
bro?
chest.
A shotgun, man.
Jeez.
Even if you don't hold that baby right, it blows your freaking socket out, your shoulder socket
Yeah,
out.
like-
You know, it's like, come on, dude. It's supposed to do some
They
kind of
could
damage.
have did a little better with that.
Yeah, or at least change the gun to a handgun. I'll be like, all right,
Exactly.
understandable. But a shotgun,
Or give him an upgrade.
yeah,
That's all
okay,
I'm saying.
That would have been cool too.
Let him upgrade his suit a little bit, and then we're good. That's all you had to do, or change the gun.
Yeah,
But other than that, dude, and also just make the movie a little bit shorter. I'm talking like 10, 15 minutes. Not even a lot. Really. Like certain scenes I thought
Okay.
went on a little long.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was one scene I was thinking you could have
You know
almost cut out of it.
What
but
I just
can't
thought about
remember
right
the
now,
scene.
you know how that whole like map of like Gotham under the carpet
Yeah.
was so the Riddler knew he was gonna get caught, and he knew Batman was gonna show up there to discover all that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He thought he was going to discover that even earlier. So he was like, I thought you were smarter than I thought.
Oh,
So to him,
okay.
he thought he was going to discover that shit right away.
Okay. 'Cause I was
Pretty
thinking about
much.
that. I'm like, whoa, what if you never got caught then? Like, what? Okay, I guess you're right.
But but yeah, that's the point in the Riddler plot that gets a little over the top for me for this particular vibe of a movie. It was so grounded and realistic the whole time, and then it felt like they kind of leaped out of detective world and went back into like the Nolan verse for a second.
Yeah.
Did Dark Knight Rises, but just a little bit better in my mind. But yeah, man. I mean, any other thoughts going into the movie, man? Before we wrap up this Batman conversation home. Oh wait, I almost skipped one of the biggest things in the thing.
What's up?
One of the last scenes, man. Sometimes it's okay to be a
Oh.
clown.
Oh my
Barry
gosh. Okay,
Keoghan.
before we get into that,
Woo.
another scene I didn't like is how like they finally defeat all the Riddler thugs.
Yeah.
And like there's like a wire, electrical wire, just like no zapping and going
Yeah.
around. I didn't like how he like got to it and he just like cut it off with his one batarang that he has. He cut it off and like once
I like
again
that tactical bat knife thing.
he
though.
did it.
That's cool.
I like it too. It's
I
pretty
want one.
badass. But he didn't even stick the landing. I don't know, man. I the way how it was all made, how like he jumped, he got it, and he caught it and cut it, and then like he fell into the water. I wish it could have been done more with style. And supposedly, I watched this YouTube video. It was like him going into the water for he could like come out as a birthing
Rebirth.
as
As the new
a rebirth, a new
Batman.
person. And I was
Yeah.
like, lame. He
That's
just
overly
semi
used.
held people who were semi and dangerous. It's not like he jumped, he caught the whole freaking like announcing TV thing and like moved out of the way. I would have been like, okay, understandable. But he just caught the little wire, cut it, and then he went into the water.
Yeah, like to me, I don't even go with that particular moment. I say the whole entire film into that whole fight scene at the end is what changes him and why he sees, oh, maybe if I didn't lead with vengeance the way I did, none of this would have happened.
Yeah.
That's more what I look at it. That moment is not that powerful for me either.
Oh,
It's like,
okay.
it's all right. It
Yeah.
looks cool, but
I thought it
It's
was
not
just
that big
I
of a
just thought
deal.
it was
him
should have been
leading the
done
people
with-
out of there with the flare and then carrying the girl into the thing was more powerful to me.
That's more, yes,
where she
for
wouldn't
sure.
let go of him and stuff, and he's like, "No, like you're good. Like,
Yeah.
they got you."
Like that would have been that's cool scene when he let them out. I just wish he did something more
Epic to get to that point. Yeah, I'm with you a little bit. If we're
Yeah.
gonna go comic booky at the end, then go all the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Even like Christian Bale carrying out the bomb and everything, and it blowing up, and everyone sees the whole thing blow up or
Uh-huh.
whatever. It's more impactful.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
man,
heck yeah, there you go.
And then you get the
You're right.
statue of him looking down at everybody. Like that was like a really great way to kind of build to that. But the beauty of that was it's a trilogy, and it's the third film in the trilogy. This is just the first movie, so
Yeah.
it's hard to get that epic of a feel off of the first initial run, man. But overall, man, like I said, this is definitely a top 3 Batman film for me. Matt Reeves knocked it out of the park, still, and it has always been ever since Cloverfield. One of my favorite directors working today. You fucking nailed it, my friend, if you ever see this video.
Yeah,
and
Cloverfield
Robert
pretty
Pattinson is definitely, I think, the best Batman we've ever seen. His Bruce Wayne, to be determined. We got to see some more. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I think he has some room to improve, but he has time to do so.
Hold up. We're just skipping over the whole.
But yeah, I was gonna say though. But before we wrap it up, we got to talk about the Joker scene. Barry Keoghan from Eternals, Killing of a Sacred Deer. He's playing the Joker. He's talking to the Riddler. Riddle me this, man. What'd you think? What'd you think?
I thought. Okay, my thing. I don't hate her or nothing. I just wish it was like, if supposedly from what I've heard, Mr. Freeze was gonna be the next villain.
Could be. Like Matt Reeve said, like he's very interested in that.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah, I'm like, please.
So hopefully they would have showed that instead of the Joker, okay? Because the second movie again is gonna be the Joker, like and then we just had.
I hope not.
Me neither. Phoenix. If anything, make him the third movie, and we just had Joaquin Phoenix Joker not even like 3 years ago. You know?
It was 2019, right?
That's 2 years ago.
Yeah, going on 3.
So I'm like,
early.
Nah. Okay, so.
Yeah.
By the way he looked, my theory is I'm pretty sure this is like obviously after he falls into that like huge
the ace chemicals,
the ace chemical part. You know, that's how he looks like. You know,
maybe
that's what I thought.
Maybe Batman was chasing him down.
Yeah, and
fell into the vat like usual. Locked him up.
Since it's the second year of Batman, I'm pretty sure that was one of his first like cases or whatever.
Yep.
He falls into that, and he still
Except instead of dressing up as the Red Hood, he was just a thug that was doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, and then he still hasn't like fully recovered from his chemical burns or whatever.
No makeup yet.
That's what I'm hoping that it's going.
Me too, because I don't want them to go the Heath Ledger route. Stay as far away from that as possible.
Yeah,
too much to live up to.
But
I like Barry Keoghan as a choice to play the Joker. I liked his performance overall. The laugh needs a little work.
Yeah.
It was a little too.
That's what I'm saying. Like
for me,
maybe he just needs to recover from his burn.
Yeah.
That's what I thought about.
Yeah, like you know,
someone in the audience was like Two-Face, and I was like, nah.
I thought so till he started talking about clowns.
Yeah,
because it looked like only half of his face was fucked up for a second. But then he started talking about it's not so bad to be a clown and all this other shit. And then he was all riddle me this. I'm like, yep, it's Joker. Two-Face hasn't acted that silly other than the Tommy Jones version. Tommy Lee Jones. He never acts that silly.
Yeah.
So
it's more of a serious guy for
it's
sure.
definitely going to be Joker. And then when he started laughing and shit, I was like, yeah, it's Joker.
Definitely Joker. Yeah.
I don't love this laugh, but the potential of him teaming up with Riddler whenever they do it makes it a little more fresh for it being the Joker. We never seen them work together in a movie, period.
Yeah.
Except for Adam West shit. And that's so far removed.
Yeah.
It's almost like seeing SpongeBob compared to this, you know? It's like we haven't really seen what this could be. So I'm with you. Don't do Joker till at least film 3.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I wouldn't mind him being in that little Arkham series they're talking about developing. That would be fine. I don't mind giving him a little bit of shine to go off other villains and maybe even someone like Hugo Strange, right? From
that'd be cool.
Asylum the game and even the comics. Let's say he's one of the main guys in this series and he's experimenting on these people. That would be cool because then we get to see the Joker interact in a new way with somebody, not with just Batman.
Yeah.
So I would like that to kind of give Joker a setup so in film 3, we could do a full-on Riddler Joker story. They got out of the asylum at the end of the Asylum series. Batman's doing something with Mr. Freeze or shit, who knows? We can get an actual Latino Bane this time. We can do all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And then let's say at the end of film 2, then you get Riddler hitting up the Batman. I'm back, bitch. And then the Joker's up in this piece too. Film 3, Joker Riddler team up. That sounds like a cool plan to me. I just don't want him in the next movie because it's like we just got this guy 3 movies back to back.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, Snyder Cut. Joaquin Phoenix.
Shit, I forgot about Suicide Squad.
Joaquin Phoenix, then Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
So you got 2 Jared Leto versions, Joaquin Phoenix, the Harley Quinn series, and a bunch of animated movies with Mark Hamill and other people playing them. It's like, we've gotten a lot of fucking Joker. Can we cool the fucking jets on Joker?
I didn't think about that.
Like, goddamn. We had him in Mortal Kombat 11, for Pete's sakes.
Oh,
Jeez.
yeah, that's pretty sick.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
I love the Joker. He is my favorite villain all time. I just want to see Batman go against different rogues.
Me too.
Or at least pick a rogue that we haven't seen a good version of, like Penguin.
Yeah.
You know? Like Mr. Freeze. We've seen it, but not the real Mr. Freeze. So I'm cool with that. I don't want Clayface like some people do. I think it's too much out of the tone of these movies.
I want Clayface, honestly. But I totally feel that.
They have to change it up, but I'm cool with it. I just feel like you got to really ground it. Make him like Freddy Krueger or something. Like he's a damaged clay-looking deformity, but not a whole clay person. Because then it gets too crazy. Like, how the fuck is he supposed to fight that? He ain't even got a fucking bat wings. What the hell?
True.
You don't even have a bat-proof cape, bro.
Yeah.
He's supposed to fight a clay creature? That's crazy. But for me, I would like to see in the Arkham series, just as like a small part of cameo, the ventriloquist, man. I know I always bring that up, but he's such a creepy
crazy.
villain.
Yeah.
He literally uses a fucking ventriloquist doll to be like a mob figure, and he's the crony. That's just crazy stuff. He be shooting people with the hand using the puppet, bro.
What the?
Yeah, like the puppet shooting him, not him shooting him. So that to me just sounds like a really cool opportunity for someone to go full crazy Riddler with it.
Yeah.
And Dr. Pig as well. Or Mr. Pig.
I don't even know who that is.
He's like a serial killer, literally, with a pig mask, looking like some Leatherface type shit that be literally like cutting up, killing people. It would be a little redundant of Riddler, but it'd be kind of cool. And one I would like to see, but you can't see in this version because it doesn't make sense. Red Hood, but it doesn't make sense here. But in that same vein, I would like to see Hush. That'd be cool.
Damn, that'd be sick.
Yeah. Because you can kind of go with another detective-esque
like Hush.
story, but you can mix in some action elements too.
Yeah.
And it has multiple villains in it, so I think that would all play pretty well. But yeah, man, I mean, I like the scene with the Joker Riddler thing. I just wish it was a post-credit. It kind of felt weird at the end of the movie right there. Kind of felt like a different vibe a little bit. But overall, I like the scene, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Me
But
too.
yeah, man, I mean, any other final thoughts on the Batman?
Where do you rate the movie?
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10.
Very fucking awesome. Excellent Batman film. Not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It's fighting the Dark Knight for that top spot right now.
Damn. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Woo! That's a good score, though.
One of my favorite persons wanted me to say this because I swear I swear to her I'll say it, but she said, I, Miguel Dang, I'm objectively wrong about this movie. This by far is one of the best portrayals of Batman being Batman.
That's true.
I gotta be crazy to value the Batman at anything less than an 8 out of 10. And that was from my homegirl, Laura Martinez, and she loves the
I
flick.
agree with you, Laura. I agree with you.
I told her like, oh yeah, I give it a 7. I started giving it all the reasons, and then she saw it yesterday. I saw it yesterday too, and she's like, call me right now, like call me right after, and she's like, you're so wrong. This is like a 9 out of 10, and I'm
It's
just
so
like,
good, man. Oh,
9 out of 10.
I can't wait to see it again this weekend,
I
man.
don't know.
By the time y'all have seen this episode right here, the Fandom Frequency Show, I would have seen the Batman twice, but alas, I didn't get to see it before we did the review a second time. But let us know what you're thinking about the Batman, yo. What do you think about Pattinson?
Tell me about the Batarangs.
Did you want Batarangs? Did you need more Batarangs? Did you need more Batmobile like I did? Batwings, where are they at? Let me know. I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on this movie. I've been so excited to discuss this one and to get our spoiler discussion out there so we can continue discussing it with you guys. We would love for you to hop in the comments, hit us up on the IG or the Twitter, and let us know what you think about the Batman. Where do you rate it in your all-time Batman films? Right now, it's sitting comfortably in my top 3, and it might even take the top spot by the time I record an official ranking for these things, man.